Good afternoon, everybody. Well, good afternoon, good night, whatever you want to say. Today is May 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Always sounds so weird to say. It is day 768 of quarantine. Now, it's like probably day 45, 50, something around there. I'm not going back to school this school year. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, good afternoon, good night, whatever you want to say. Today, give me one second. I forgot to turn this off. May. Where's the audio coming from? Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. There we go. Okay, that should fix that. So, yeah. So I'm not going back to school this year. Well, not like this academic school year, but yeah. So, if you couldn't read by the title, we are building our rollers today. So this is hopefully going to go well. Don't exactly know what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out. I was finally able to attach the X-axis. I have the rolls right here. And I have the tube right here. This is stainless steel. Yada yada. So yeah, that goes in there. The only one that's confusing really is this guy. This is the direct drive one. So I think it just like, so I'm going off of for the most part, the Fusion 360 file, in which I'm not actually in the assembly anymore. I am in the actual like broken down component of it, if I can scroll. So I set up this little view for y'all. This is the Fusion screen, and it's not working. Fusion screen? No. Fusion screen. Now can you see it? Fusion screen. Okay, so here's our Fusion screen. This is the crossbar. I was measuring it before. I had to cut a tiny end off. So this is the direct drive mount. Who is calling me? I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. That was work. We got that all situated away. That one's on here. Okay, cool. That one's in the comment section. So let's go back to our Fusion screen. Fusion screen. I pulled the wrong thing up. Here we go. Fusion screen. So what I'm getting at here . Okay, so I guess let's build these rollers. So it looks like, I feel like the coupler shouldn't be flush on here, because, you know, it needs to be, actually, I think we want the coupler flush on here. That's what it looks like in the photo. Flush coupler. So this is how I am going off of this, so I don't want to get rid of the whole assembly. I want to get rid of, not the coupler, I want to get rid of that. Yeah, so that's definitely flush on there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this flush on this end. I'm going to put this flush on this end. Back to this screen. Flush on this end. This is the one for that. This is going to fit through here, and then we need to use some like, okay, now I can see. I'm gonna need a rubber mallet. Get this flush on here, put this in there. We're going to need to hit that with a rubber mallet to get it in. Then we got, like, I'm going to go off of, so then this, like, piece is like a brace, sort of. So I guess that's, like, really in the middle. This goes through there, that goes in there. Everything goes, like, down in here. Now, the question is, do I want to do it like this? The coupler on first, slide this in there, then put the brace on through here, push that down inside, and then put the end on? Is that how I want to do this? Either way, I need a rubber mallet, so I will be right back. And I gotta fix this guy. Gotta delete that. Cool. See how Carl does it. I'm also using that partially for how I'm doing this. So, Y carriage, chassis, installing linear rails, side braces, and building rollers. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna mute myself for a bit. So here's what I did. I put the coupler on. So I had to drill this out to 1/2 inch because it's an 8 to 12 millimeter coupler, and 12 millimeters, this is a 1/2 inch bar. 1/2 inch is greater than 12 millimeters, and there were no 8 millimeter to 1/2 inch things, so we just drilled this out to 1/2 inch, got the bar in here, and then I put the coupler, so the coupler is flush on the bottom, like you can't put the bar in anymore, and I mark that off and then I mixed together my JB Weld, and I did a line of JB Weld right above the coupler, and then I slid this piece on, and I made this flush with the I have a problem with unmuting myself. This is why I don't mute myself. So, I took this coupler. It's an 8 millimeter to 12 millimeter coupler, and I drilled it out to 1/2 inch because this is a 1/2 inch bar. 1/2 inches is greater than 12 millimeters. I think it's like 12.7 millimeters. So I did that, drilled it out, and then I put the bar inside. Cut this to 287 millimeters for the direct drive one. So that's there. I put the coupler in. I put the rod into the coupler and did it until I couldn't push it in anymore. And that's what I have here. I put a little line of JB Weld right above the top of the coupler, and then I slid this mount on. This is the direct drive mount, so this is the one. There's a difference. You can notice this has a hole in it. This one doesn't. So I did that. There's a line there, so it's going to hold it in place, and we are good there. So now I'm going to go back to the video. I'm keeping my audio on this time because I never remember to unmute myself. So I'm following along with the video here.
Belt rope. Belt like that. Side lip. Can't see.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a line right around this lip here and then put the roller on. So I don't really have like a paintbrush or anything. I'm using the end of a like fork, like the plastic fork. I'm using the end of it. So I'm going to do a bead. This is epoxy, but it's meant for bonding plastics and metals together, so it works. Because I bought this at Harbor Freight, and I'm not even going to try and order it on Amazon. And I didn't realize that I needed this until yesterday. So, yep. So there's that. Now I have the roller, and I put it on the wrong part. Of course I did. I put all of that epoxy on the wrong thing. So we're putting a bead of epoxy around the second lip. Not the first lip, but the second lip. I'm gonna run out, and I didn't buy enough. I didn't realize how much I would need. Alright, now I gotta mute myself because this is gonna be annoying. So let's learn from my mistake. So, I broke the plastic piece. That's probably because I did this backwards. What you probably want to do first is do the part that doesn't have the coupler on it. But that's not how I did it, because I have no brain cells. So, that's one broken. This we're going to do. Now, the way that you do this side, here's your bar, here's the jig. I'm using the floor for this because I don't really have another way to do this. Now, you need something to mark off where you're putting your epoxy. Here's my Sharpie. So, I'm just going to get it on a level surface and draw a line. That's where the top is. God. Fun. Okay, so put that on there. We're gonna do a line of JB Weld right on top of the line that I just drew. And this is already cured. Awesome. So I'm gonna need more of this. Mix it up. And we're gonna put it right above this line. So when I slide down the piece, it will cinch that connection. Okay, so I'm going to take this, put that in the jig, take one of these roller ends, so there's the end. Now what I'm going to do is do this the smart way. I'm going to take this, we're going to put a line of the epoxy, JB Weld, whatever you have, as long as it can bond plastic to metal. We're going to put that all the way around this lip here. This stuff sets pretty quickly, so I'm working quickly. Put this, I gotta sit on the floor and do this for like leverage and things. So I'm gonna put that jig on the floor, slide our tube over, and then we're going to tap the tube into place. I put way more than I needed on here. You want to put enough, but not too much. You get so much squeeze out. Alright, now I think the next step is going to be to get that little centerpiece in.
Used out the corners for the side there. And that's why I want to make sure that rod didn't back up. It's still flush on the bottom. Now next step will be putting in the middle. A little bit of this as far down as I can on the rod so that it goes through it at some point and pushes it along with it just to help hold it in place. I'm pretty much pushes up, so when this gets to here, I know I'm pretty much in the center.
Okay. So we're trying to get this ring in the center the best we can. So he takes some of the epoxy and just runs it as far as he can down the rod. And yeah. Then we take one of our centerpieces, slide that in. Then I need something that can fit. Now, I can see why the PVC tubing would come in handy, because we don't want to break this printed piece. We need to get it down there. What am I going to use? I gotta figure this out. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Because I'm gonna be here all day trying to do it this way. Seriously, I have no PVC tubing? I know I had some. I'll be right back. Probably won't work because I think it's 1/2-inch PVC tubing. Maybe. Hey, it's working. Alright, let's see. So that roller is right. This piece is like right there. Let's do a couple more taps. That should be good. Alright, that's probably right around center. Let's see, it's right. Yeah, probably right around center. Cool. So now that that's there, put that right there. Once again, make sure our rod didn't move. And I need another end cap. So this end cap is just going to go on that end. And if I look at the assembly file again very quickly, it should have, there should definitely be a lip because I know there's a gap on the printer. So, yeah. This better not have cured yet. Shit. Yeah, it cured already. Cool, so I can't do anymore. So that was the end of this. Yep. That stuff sets too quickly. I need to get stuff. That doesn't set so quickly. Yep, okay. But yeah, there's going to be a bigger side. Cool. Alright, so I broke one of them. Speaking of breaking one of them, let's get this coupler off before the thing glues it into place. Probably already did. That was not the method to do this. Okay, cool. There we go. Definitely glued it on a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Luckily, it's just printed parts, not like injection molded parts where I screw it up and we're kind of stuck there. So, here's what happened tonight. So, learn from my mistakes. What you want to do when you're building your rollers, get something that doesn't cure in 5 minutes. 5 minutes is not enough time for this. You absolutely 100% need to print these jigs. No way around it. You have to print this jig. I just realized it. I see it now. So, if I did that completely right, I'm assuming is that the end that's left is just enough to fit the coupler on. Yeah, probably. Cool. So I have to reprint the coupler end. I'll actually get that started right now while I do our debrief. So here's what happened tonight. Today I tried to build the rollers. Here's what went wrong with it. So the epoxy that I have cures in 5 minutes. I can't work that quickly. I need more time. So I need to get epoxy that doesn't cure in 5 minutes. I highly suggest you get something that probably has around a 30-minute work time, so you give yourself a little bit more time to actually be able to work with it. Because no one can work that quickly. So I highly suggest that you get something that cures in about 30 minutes or at least more than 5. Because you will not be able to do it fast enough. I need to print a new belt stepper direct drive mount because I broke mine. And that is because the way that you want to build the thing, very specific here. Print this. 100% need to print this jig. You stick the rod inside and it just fits. So for one roller, use Carl's video. 100% use the White Knight video. It will work perfectly for you. You'll be able to understand. That is the non-direct drive mount. For the one that is the direct drive mount, do the side that does not have the coupler. So put your rod in, put the shorter rod in. You have 2 rods. One's cut to 287, one's cut to 399. Take your 287 rod, put it in your jig. Take your end cap, the one that doesn't have the groove in it. Slide it on. You want to draw a line right where the jig meets the bar. You're going to put a little bit of your epoxy, your JB Weld, whatever it is, on top of that. Just above that line. So that when you slide this on, it will slide in. But the whole point is that this is flush on the face, so that when you push this down, it's at the perfect height. This is what it needs to be. Now, you do that, put your roller on, then I recommend getting at least a ½ inch, greater than ½ an inch of PVC pipe. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be able to fit over the rod so that you can slide this so it's in the middle of the roller. Then you put you're doing all of this in the jig. This makes sure that this stays on, make sure between every single movement that this piece does not move. That is crucial for your spacing. So you're going to keep that on the entire time. Make sure that, again, spacing stays right the whole time. Then you do the belt stepper mount. So you want to assemble the entire roller before you put the coupler on. You put the coupler on, you have to drill it out to ½ inch because you have an 8mm to 12mm coupler. You screw that on and then you attach the belt stepper. I will do the belt stepper and everything and attaching the rollers in my next video, my next live stream. But then you have your 2 rollers. We'll go into attaching it in the next one, but do the coupler last. Because my coupler was sticking out, when I was hitting the bar down, it was putting pressure up and it's very thin in the middle there. So it broke the plastic. And that's why I have to print a new piece out. And I'm actually all out of this green PETG, so it's going to be in black, which is totally fine. It's a little bit contrasting in colors, but I'm not buying another roll of PETG for this project. Or anything else? Not really. You can pretty much follow along the White Knight tutorial on building the rollers, except for that part that I was saying about the belt stepper mount. That is crucial. The 287 one is for the 287 millimeter stainless steel bar is for the direct drive mount, and then the 399 bar is for the regular one. The regular one, same thing as the White Knight build. I just wasn't able to finish mine because my epoxy completely cured. I have to buy more of that. And I have to print a new mount. That will take 3 hours. It's going right now on the Mark III. But yeah, thanks for everyone who came by tonight. Saw me struggle, saw me screw up, and yeah. So I'll catch you in the next one, which will probably be sometime this weekend. Quite possibly could be tomorrow also. But have a great May 4th. Everyone enjoy Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.